boys and girls, brothers and sisters, siblings. Good evening. Good morning. Good evening. Pardon me, wherever it is in your area of the planet. Thank you for dropping by on this live stream or the playback of the live stream. My name is Bill, and you're watching Bill's Box of Sound. Thank you for stopping by. This is where every Saturday night, usually at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and different times all over the planet, we just get on here and talk about music, whatever suits our fancy and stuff like that. And I'm very glad to see you all here. Wow, we got 14 folks. I love it. 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 Oh, well, we got, oh my God, the chat room is just going crazy. Let's see. Whoa, very good, Greg. Yes, I did get this on the 2012 um, tour of Zappa Plays Zappa. However, this is a design of a shirt that was originally sold at actual Zappa concerts. Um, and this music on this shirt is a measure of the Black Page. So now you know, if you didn't already. And Chief Dancing Ostrich, hello, as always. Good to see you. You purchased Jazz from Hell. Oh, you also got Sergeant Pepper's. Fantastic. You even found Katy Perry's Prism. That's cool. Let's see here. Also, you thought about getting Harry Styles' second album, but went maybe next time. I haven't really taken a good listen to Harry Styles yet. I really should, because he's popular. Anyway, and yes, Pete, Jazz from Hell does rule. And yes, it did win a Grammy for Best Rock Instrumental. Now, I was lucky enough to interview Frank Zappa in 1988, and we talked a little bit about that Grammy Award, and he thought that getting a Grammy for Jazz from Hell was a joke at best. And this is because the Grammy was for the song Jazz from Hell, which in his estimation was the most abstract song on the album. And he says getting a Grammy for that was just like getting a gold watch for being in the music business for 25 years, which he had pretty much been at that time. But it is a great album. Oh yeah, Night School. Night School makes me dance. It's just a beautiful track. Let's see. America Champagne. What, Diet Coke? Very good. All right. Anyway, what else? When Grammy for Rock Instrumental Performance went through the only remotely rock thing on, it was the one guitar solo. Zappa thought it was hilarious and doubted that any of them actually had heard it. Well, that was Saint Etienne, I believe, on that album. That was the one track that had a guitar solo. And let's see. Oh, State Road up in Parma. Parma. This show goes to Parma over there. Cool with the boom booms. Just learned that Zappa's 84 Blossom show is on YouTube. Oh, I was there. I've got a bootleg CD of it. Very nice. Very cool. But I'm guessing it's just the audio and not the video of it. Now, was anybody in attendance here at that show like I was? Because that show, to the best of my recollection, had some PA problems. At one point in the show, one whole side of the PA went out, only had sound on this side. And then after about 10-15 minutes, both sides were back and we had full stereo sound. Huh, cool. Let's see. Didn't what have an adult advisory warning? Jazz from Hell It maybe had the warning guarantee sticker, even though it was a vocalless album. Hello to Kevin. Good to see you. Had a nice little meal with Kevin a couple of weeks ago. Very good to see him. Also, yesterday, I had the pleasure and the privilege and the honor of being on a live stream with Steve Westman and the audio files. It was an audiophile roundtable. It was around 6 or 7 guys, and we were all talking about the best sounding rock records. Um, and it was really neat. So check it out. And who knows? I may be on that live stream again in the future. That would be pretty cool. And let's see. You were at Blossom 3 times in '84, Zappa, Dead, and Normandy High School graduation. Well, also, if you are a big Zappa fan, you saw Zappa twice in 1984. Once at Blossom Music Center and once at the Front Row Theater. And Frank came out and he said to everybody, he says, I don't know how this show's going to go because this show is in the round. The front row was a circular theater, and then there was a stage in the middle, and the stage rotated around 3 times this way, 3 times that way. It was a special setup. But Frank said that generally, whenever they got to play in the round, the sound was absolutely atrocious. But actually, it sounded pretty good, and the band did its regular show, and then when the show was over, Frank standing on stage says, "Usually we leave the stage, and we go and get something to drink or something like that, and then we come back and we do an encore." He says, "Well, we're not going to leave the stage. We're just going to do the encore. So hang on a couple of minutes. We're going to adjust some stuff, make some tunings, and do that." And so they did that. They waited a few minutes before they did the encore, and he says, we're going to do all the encores that we're going to do, and then we're going to leave. And when we leave, that's it. But he also said this turned out to be a pretty cool place to work, the front row. So I was really happy about that. So, what other things are going on in the Zappa universe? Today is the hold on a second. Today is the birthday. Just wanted to make sure. Yes, it is. Today is the birthday of one of Frank Zappa's heroes. And I didn't have a chance to take these out of the plastic beforehand, so I'm just going to do it right now. One of Frank Zappa's heroes, Johnny Guitar Watson. Ain't that a bitch? This was like his comeback album. And I think what year did this album come out? This came out in 1976, the year after Johnny Guitar Watson appeared on the Zappa album One Size Fits All. So I think Frank kind of nudged him into getting back into the music business because he hadn't done some stuff in a while. And as a matter of fact, I believe did Kerry McNabb engineer this album? Let's double check here. Let's see, Tommy Roberson, trombone, Paul Dunmall, saxophone, Peter Martin, trumpet, Emery Thomas on drums, Johnny Guitar Watson on bass, keyboards, vocals, and guitar. It does not say where it was recorded. It does not say who the engineer was. But this was on the DJM label. And the subsequent album was a real mother for you. And yes, that is his mom, I believe, pushing him in that little cart or baby carriage there. And let's see, this album. Let's see, aha, engineered by Kerry McNabb at Paramount Recording Studios in Hollywood, California. So, and it says these credits should also have been on Ain't That a Bitch. Sorry, fellas. So, both this album and this album were recorded by Kerry McNabb. So there. I knew my memory did not fail me on that. Let me put this plastic back on this lovely piece of wax. And see, what else do I have by Johnny Guitar Watson? 2 more albums. This one, Funk Beyond the Call of Duty. And this one, let's see, pretty much the same musicians, and it was also engineered by Kerry McNabb at Paramount Recording Studios again, and still on the Dick James Music label. And the last album that I got was this one, Strike on Computers. Kind of like Johnny Guitar Watson's way of saying, computers are taking over the music. It's got to stop. We got to go on strike against them. And let's see, now this one was not engineered by Kerry McNabb. Let's see, produced at Ken Dunn Burbank. Let's see. Engineers. Birdball Train, Memory Earl, Tim Denon, Dan Marinin. Huh. Strange. But the horns on this album, the horn players, Zappa fans will recognize Albert Wing from the '88 tour, and the Fowler brothers, Bruce Fowler and Walt Fowler, from all the way from Roxy and Elsewhere to Broadway the Hard Way. So Johnny Guitar Watson passed away, I believe, in Japan during a concert. He was on stage and he died on stage performing. And I'm trying to remember I don't recall what year he died, but he did definitely die on stage. And I remember that Zappa told me that yeah, Johnny Guitar Watson stopped by my house and he played me this album, Strike on Computers, and he told me all about it. And I said, we don't have to strike on computers. Computers are our friends. It's just another tool to help you make music. And you never know. AI might turn out to be a helpful tool instead of something to fake things. I know people always said that the drum machine was going to make drummers obsolete, didn't do it. They said sequencers were going to make bands obsolete, didn't. So, you know what? AI might have a chance. I saw a video for this new digital audio workstation, which employs a lot of AI. Like you're able to take a rehearsal tape or any other tape and split the instruments away from it. Like if you have a mono or stereo recording and you want to pull out just a guitar solo, you can do that. And you can also change the notes in a guitar solo and to reconstruct it that way. But I don't think that is going to substitute for actual musicians. Not for a moment. People enjoy real musicians way too much. So that is that. Oh, da-da-da. Synthesizer still working. All right. More retorts from the chat room. Let's see. Hello, Nate Bouchard. Zindo. Hello, G Spot Tornado. Good morning, everyone. Hey. Alan Bix 66. My only three Zappa shows were Blossom, Front Row, and Music Hall 88. Those are my last three. Reddit remember them fondly. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Saint Brando, hello. Hello. Other good news that happened this week is a couple more people have purchased the Spudlock albums. We even sold a couple of downloads of these. So thank you so much, anybody who has done that. As a matter of fact, somebody local right in Brooklyn, Ohio, bought one. I'm going to try and contact them and say, hey, you want me to deliver this to your house? I'll drop it off. So that was very, very cool. Very, very happy. Later on in this hour, we will have some more random 45s, not as random as usual. I had to check them out beforehand. But we do have some very cool 45s coming up near the end of the show. Some little off the beaten path rock classics. So that's fun to look forward to. In audiophile news, there was an announcement of Kraft Records, which is the company that owns the fantasy catalog, the prestige catalog, the contemporary catalog. They own a lot of classic jazz stuff and soul stuff as well. And they have been putting out a series of these things that they call their one steps. And if you're not already familiar with the term one step, what that means is when they make an album, they cut the master lacquer and then they take that lacquer and they electroplate it and make what they call a mother. And they take that and electroplate that and peel that off. And let's see. Okay, so they electroplate the lacquer. That is a negative. Then they electroplate that, and that becomes yet another version of it. And then for the third step, they electroplate that, and that becomes the stamper. And that is what they use to stamp most records. Now, what the one step does is it eliminates those two steps because they're saying, well, with all of those multiple impressions, it's possible for the signal to deteriorate a tiny, tiny little bit. So we just electroplate it once, peel that off, and that becomes the stamper. We can't make as many records that way, so we do have to cut a lot more lacquers. So it costs a lot more to make these records. But their promise to you is a better sounding record. Now, personally, I've only heard one step, and it really didn't make a difference. I'd like to hear another one step someplace, but I'm not going to pay the 100 or so bucks. I mean, unless they put out like a Zappa album or an XTC album or a Devo album or something like that, then I'll buy a one step. The closest thing that I get to a one step are the ultra high quality records. I'm buying all the Steely Dans that are coming out. And so far I've been pretty happy about it. But anyway, Kraft Records announces these one steps every few months or on special occasions for them. I don't know. And they announced the latest in their series of one step albums that they're going to put out. And for $100, you can get a one step copy of this album right here, Isaac Hayes, Hot Buttered Soul. Yes, chef from South Park himself, Isaac Hayes. And this ain't a bad album. It is a kind of a soul and R&B classic, kind of jazzy, very moody, kind of like the album that you'd put on when you're in a romantic mood. There's 4 tracks on it. Side 1 has Walk On By, the tune made popular by Dionne Warwick. Then it's got this other track called Hyperbolic Syllabic Squadal Mystic. Here, I'll just put it up here so you can see it right up there. Whatever that is. And then side 2 has a 5-minute track called One Woman, and then a 18-minute and 40-second version of the song By the Time I Get to Phoenix. Yes, the song originally made popular by Glenn Campbell, of all people. And it's not bad. There's some good playing on it. Let's see, who are the, doesn't credit the musicians here, but this is put out on Enterprise Records, which is a division of Stax Records. Pardon me. So, for $100, you can get a pristine, newly mastered copy of this album. I've already got this. I'm not going to buy it again. So, pardon me. It's very interesting as to why they picked that one. But we'll figure that out. Uh-oh, what we got going on here? Let's see. That's my opinion. What's yours? Who cares? I don't know what you think, but Mr. Chatterbox can't keep a secret. Anyway, hello, Rick. How you doing? Sup? All right. Ba, 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 ba. And there were 2 deaths that were reported yesterday. If you watched Grown Man Record Night last night, you heard about both of them. But I'm going to feature one of them in a minute here. Carl Weathers, the guy who played Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies, and also started Action Jackson. He passed away yesterday. Actor Carl Weathers, and we lost a kind of a rock and roll icon, Wayne Kramer of the MC5. This is the Kick Out the Jams album. I've also got a very hard to look at Motor City 5 mirrored compilation that came out on the Run Out Groove record label. But yeah, when we talked about it yesterday on the Steve Westman program, I pulled out this album because it was just the one that was most close to me. It's back in the USA. And let's see. Which one's Kramer? Is he back here? Well, you can see him right there. There's Wayne Kramer on guitar. Dude passed away. Right away, I had to send an email out to Abigail DeVoe because she put out a couple of really good videos, especially her what she called a short history of the MC5 on her YouTube channel. It was like almost 3 hours long, but it was very much worth it. MC5 worship, the Motor City 5. So rest in peace, dude. So that's that. What else we got going on? So I already talked about that. Already showed that. That's about everything. And we're about a half an hour into this extravaganza. Very cool. Let's see. Mingus 3 or 4 Shades of Blue. That is an album by Mingus. And I thought that was on the Atlantic label. Let's look it up and find out. Let me go to my old friend internet, and let's see, 3 or 4 Shades of Blue. Studio album by Charles Mingus. Blues, actually. And that was on the Atlantic label. produced by Ilhan Mimarolu. I don't have that album, but I think it's pretty cool. Let's see who played on this album. Let's see. Large ensembles featuring saxophonist Ricky Ford, George Coleman, and Sonny Fortune, pianists Jimmy Rolls, guitarist Larry Coryell, Philip Catherine, and John Schofield. Man, smoking. And bassist Ron Carter and George Mraz, trumpeter Jack Walrath, and drummer Danny Richmond. So yeah, I remember that album, but I don't have a copy of that. But that would be cool to get an audiophile version of that album, don't you think? And let's see. Ellenbeck was just listening to WCSB 89.3 late night talk show Sunday night, talking about Wayne Kramer visiting the studio. Oh, that's cool. Very, very cool. So let's back off on that. All right. I need to drink some water to wash out my mouth. Eclipse is coming up in April. Kevin, this goes out to you. I bought my Eclipse sunglasses. I got enough for me, my wife, both daughters, my son-in-law, and the grandson, your hero Roman. And we are all set. Also, the solar eclipse in which totality is going to be in the Cleveland area is going to take place during the Guardians home opener this year. So if you're a baseball fan and you go to that game, you're going to get a special event like none other. You're going to get a day game and a night game all at the same time. I'm very excited. So, all right. You like doing this. I like doing this. This is a fun part of the program. Pulling up some random 45s. And somebody's going to be good. Somebody's going to be bad. We may be discovering some things. We may be getting lots of fun memories. But let's start with this pile right here. What do you think? Let's see. We start with Chet Atkins and Prissy. Never heard that. Don't know what it is. Coming up next. Oh, more Chet Atkins and Freight Train, backed with Dobro. Interesting. From the album Guitar Country. We've got I'm Gonna Get Him Someday by the Exciters on the old Bang label. Flip side for this is a little bit of Soap, which I don't know. Is this where they got the sample for De La Soul's song, A Little Bit of Soap? You never know. Let's see. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Blast with Carmen. So Georges Bizet as the composer. It does not say. It just says, oh, as featured on the LP 134, and this song is in the public domain. Yeah, which means it's an adaptation of a Georges Bizet composition. Okay. The Circle with here we go. I'm familiar with the songs Red Rubber Ball and Turn Down Day by The Circle, but we got Please Don't Ever Leave Me, and the flip side, Money to Burn. I'm wondering, that might be off of the original album as well. I think The Circle only put out 2 albums. All right, next we've got Keep the Ball Rolling by Jay and the Techniques. Well, here's an interesting label. If for those of you who are big Beach Boys fans, a 45 on the Brother Records labels. The Heroes and Villains. And the flip side is called You're Welcome. I wonder if that's a B side or what, but this appears to be the first 45 ever released on Brother Records, the Beach Boys' own label. Very cool. We've got on the Providence label the Dartell Stomp by the Mustangs, backed with Lazy Love. We've got Jan and Dean. I think I've got a copy of this someplace. Popsicle by Jan and Dean. Bop, 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 bop. And the flip side, oh ho ho, I got to listen to this. Their version of Norwegian Wood. What's really cool about stuff like this when we're going through it and you're saying, "Oh, Bill, why can't you play the records?" Well, it's because I'll get hit by uh, copyright strikes on YouTube. But the cool thing about this is if there's a song that you see on one of these 45s and you say, "I want to hear that," after the show, search it on YouTube. There's a very good chance that somebody has already posted the song and you can listen to it for nothing. It's probably not even on Spotify in some cases. All right, what's next? Oh, Mamas and the Papas, Monday, Monday, their first big hit, if I recall properly. And the flip side, Got a Feeling. Both really good songs. I got those on an album. We've got Night Train by the Viscounts. Flip side is Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Hmm. This is an interesting artifact on the Lucky 11 label. Terry Knight in the Pack with You're a Better Man Than I. Check that out. And the flip side is Got Love. I'm not familiar with that, but Terry Knight, he ended up being the manager for Grand Funk Railroad for a while. And let's see what we're talking about here. Off the Wall, but good track. Tomorrow by Strawberry Alarm Clock, 1967, pre-prog. Oh, thank you. I finally got the Zappa license plate up there. Now that's not an actual license plate. That plate was manufactured for the Zappa movie documentary by Alex Winter, the Kickstarter to get that movie made. So they sent those out to a bunch of people. All right, coming up next, the same people who made Hang On Sloopy famous. It's Come On, Let's Go by the McCoys on the Bang label, backed with a song called Little People. Not to be confused with Randy Newman's Short People. Let's see. Next, we have the Critters with Younger Girl. Now, this is a song that was written by John Sebastian. Yeah, this is the song that the Lovin' Spoonful did. The kind of a girl that you meet in the spring. When look at her eyes and you forget everything. And speaking of the Lovin' Spoonful, I didn't know this was coming up next. Hot Town, Summer in the City. Can't wait for the summer. And what's the flip side? Butchie's Tune. I wonder if that's on an album. Let's see what it says here. Uh, it does not say. Also does not say if the A side's on an album, but if I do intend to listen to this, I am going to have to clean it because there's all sorts of schmutz on it. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, famous for Wipeout. We've got the Sufaris with Point Panic. And the flip side is Waikiki Run. Okay. Oh, the other day I heard Tommy Rose's Sweet Pea. This is another one of his big hits. Hooray for Hazel on the ABC label. And the flip side is Need Your Love. Nice. Yeah, I have run across the 45s with two songs per side. Every now and again, when I'm doing these random 45s, I run into a couple of those things. Very neat. Aha. Thank you. And we've got Mr. Spaceman by the Birds. Flip side is What's Happening with exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. That looks cool. Produced by Alan Stanton. Oh, another Herb Alpert tune. What Now, My Love. Now, that was pretty popular back in the day. And the flip side, Spanish Flea. Oh, we still got a bunch of these things to go through. We've got Sippin' and Chippin' by the T-Bones. They're the same ones that made popular whatever shape your stomach is in. Let's see. And Moments of Softness. I could make a very dirty joke about that, but I'm not going to. Oh, yeah, I'm not a Beatles fan anymore. I've got a new favorite band. It's Herman and the Hermits with Dandy. And the flip side is my reservations confirmed. If you ever saw the Beatles anthology, and there was that time where there was a backlash against the Beatles, and they talked to this girl, and she says, "I don't like the Beatles anymore. I have a new favorite band. It's Herman and the Hermits." That was very laughable. Let's see, Gary Lewis and the Playboys with "Paint Me a Picture." Oh wait, there it says, "You don't have to paint me a picture." Okay, there we go. Oh, what else we got? The Twilighters. Never heard of this before. Oh, but I think this is the old Ray Charles tune, "Shake a Tail Feather." And we got "Road to Fortune" on the flip. Yes, indeed. Ooh, Paul Revere and the Raiders with not one of their biggest hits, "The Great Airplane Strike." I remember this song was on their greatest hits album. And flip side is "In My Community." We've got Lonnie Mack with "Memphis." Long distance information. Give it Memphis, Tennessee. Yep, it's the old Chuck Berry tune. Ah, this I have to show to Roman. When he was a couple years ago, when he was a bit littler than he is now, because he's turning 9 years old this month. But his mom played this tune for him. "These Boots Are Made for Walking," and he loved that song. He would sing, "Are you ready, boots? Start walking." He loved this song. How cool is that? I also have another 45 by Nancy Sinatra. And these two songs, you know how when a band, I don't think it happens much nowadays, but somebody would have a big hit. And so the record company, some guy puffing on a big cigar would say, "You know what you guys should do? You should make another song that sounds just like that one, but it's not exactly the same. Then you can make just as much more money, if not more." Because, like, you remember the song "You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet" by Bachman Turner Overdrive? Oh, that was great. Big hit for Bachman Turner Overdrive. And then they made a follow-up hit called "Hey You," and it almost sounded exactly like "You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet." So that's what these songs sounded like. I forget the name of them though. I think one of them was like a James Bond type of theme. But figure it out on your own. Do your stuff. Yet another Herb Alpert and a Tijuana Brass single, "The Work Song," and "Plucky." Let's see. "Wait a Minute" by Tim Tam and the Turn Ons on the Palmer record label. Check that out. Wait a minute. And the flip side, "Opelia," Tim Tam and the Turn Ons. No, it's not Reverend Tim Tom from the middle. Oh man, When I was but a small child, I had this 45. Herman's Hermits with I'm Henry VIII, I am. Played the piss out of this thing. Oh my God. Nice. Sid Dithers. Excuse me. I'm laughing too hard. Oh, this is great. Okay. Ooh, another Chuck Berry cover. The Valairs with Roll Over Beethoven. And the flip side, Brazil. Let's see. We've got Ricky Nelson with Yes Sir, That's My Baby on the Imperial label. Backed with I'm Not Afraid. And those hits just keep on coming. We've got Joe Bennett and the Sparkle Tones with Black Slacks. And an Argyle sweater. I don't know. I've never heard that song before. Boppin' Rock Boogie. This might be interesting to listen to. What else we got? We've got, let's see, Rockin' Crickets by the Rockin' Rebels. And flip side of that is Hully Gully Rock. Now, whoever had this must have really dug the Rockin' Rebels, because there's another record by them right here. We've got Wild Weekend backed with the Wild Weekend Cha-Cha. Oh, hilarious. Let's see, what's this? You got the Green Vermont Zappa plate also. Then get Travers to make some of the others from from Frank's basement. I need them all. Well, I don't know. I would have to talk to the Vaultmeister about that. I've never spoken to him about that thing. I mean, there's all these famous photos of Frank Zappa's basement where he had actual license plates that had been given to him by fans, where they had put F Zappa on their license plate. Let's see. Same tune by NRBQ. What song you talking about? You talking about Wild Weekend? Alembic, what song you talking about by NRBQ? Wild Weekend? Is that what you're talking about? Let's see. You've got Zappa on your car, Pete? Very cool. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. So, moving along, one of the most popular 45s in the history of the world is I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles. And the flip side, I Saw Her Standing There. Okay, Wild Weekend. I don't know if that's the same song. I only have one NRBQ album. Let me pull it out. It's Tiddlywinks. What's on that one? I like that album a lot. Let's see. Let's see, Laura Nero, Gary Newman. Here we go, NRBQ. Now I know that NRBQ has a lot of albums, but I only have this one, and it's Tiddlywinks. And I like this album a lot. Got this great song called Feel You Around Me. Oh, when I feel you around me. Let's see. Well, this does not have Wild Weekend on it, but hey, NRBQ, cool band. Let me put this away, and we'll continue with our crazy random 45s. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Hope you are too. And I really dig how you guys are lighting up the chat room. Oh, me and the boys, yes. Thank you very much, Yardism, for that one. Great tune. Also played by Dave Edmonds. Okay. Oh, we were talking about the T-Bones before. And let's see. What, these 45s in bulk? No. I may be giving them away in bulk. No. I stumbled into a couple of collections and a lot of them were 45s. And I kept the ones I wanted. And then I took a few to a couple of record stores, and most of the record stores just say, "Nah, we're not interested in these. We're just gonna put them on clearance and not give you anything for them." So I thought, you know what? There's gonna be people who want these, and also I don't want to give them the goodwill. Reason being, I went to a Goodwill store and they had a whole bunch of 45s just sitting in a little bin, which is fine. And they said these are 50 cents each, but it didn't have a big sign that said 50 cents each. They had taken a long sticker and placed it on the playing surface, folded it around, and put the other side of the record playing surface the sticker on both sides like that. Can you imagine how difficult it would be to peel those stickers off and then clean off that residue from the record? It's ridiculous. I know. OMG is correct. So after that, I could not, in my clear conscience, give these records to Goodwill, even though Goodwill does good for the community. They hire people that have a hard time getting jobs, and that are, that have disabilities and things like that. But if you're going to ruin something and make it impossible to sell, y- that I'm not giving to you. I'll give you regular records, but not 45s. So we get to enjoy these. So we were talking about the T-bones before, and I said that they had made popular no matter what shape your stomach's in, and boom, there it is. There's that hit. Flip side of this is feeling fine, which is what happens after you use Alka-Seltzer. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. At least they didn't brand them. And Gugan, and yeah, but that's a lot of work. It's so for me to want to do that, it's going to have to be one highly desirable 45. All right, we're getting down to near the bottom of this pile here, and we're getting near to the top of the hour. So we've got, ooh, this is a hit, and on the Argo label, nonetheless. William Reed, are you watching? Check it out. The In Crowd by Ramsey Lewis Trio, and Since I Fell for You. Da-da-da-dum. Let me switch hands here. We've got Sir Douglas Quintet. I remember Mendocino by these guys, and this is The Rains Came, backed with Bacon Fat, a song that Zappa covered at one time. Is this the original one? Sid Nathan's Bacon Fat. Da, 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 da. Okay, Trini Lopez with I'm Coming Home, Cindy. Keep the light on. Make some coffee while you're at it. And the flip side of that is the 32nd of May, which might very well be, no, okay, whatever. Getting down here, My Heart's Symphony by Gary Lewis and the Playboys, backed with Tina. Yeah, trust me. Trust me. Ooh, Kevin saw Ramsey Lewis live. Very cool. And yeah, that whole Mendocino album. Mendocino, Mendocino. Do, 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 do. Oh, here is a classic. Working in a Coal Mine by Lee Dorsey. Song that was also covered by, Devo. Flip side of that is Mexico. Wonder if that might be the same track that was done by, oh gosh, I forget. It was used on a Quentin Tarantino movie in Mexico. Do, 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 do. All right, classics coming up here. Wilson Pickett, Land of a Thousand Dances. And the flip side, You're So Fine. Oh, we were talking about The Circle earlier, and here's the other song that I like by them. Well, I love Red Rubber Ball, but their follow-up single was Turn Down Day. And the flip side is Big Little Woman. Okay. This I've never heard of. Harvey Russell with Shake Sherry on Roulette Records, a record label run by the mob. Good old Morris Levy. And the flip side is I'm Still in Love with You. There you go. Getting down there. Neil Diamond with one of his actual really good songs before he took himself too seriously. Cherry Cherry. Used to do that in the band I was in, Monkey Call. And I'll come running to tie your shoes. No, 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 not the Brian Eno song. Another extremely famous 45, The Monkees, Last Train to Clarksville. And the flip side, another great song, Take a Giant Step. We've just got a few left, and then we're done. Oh my God. Look at all these rumors. Let's see. Wait, Syndicate of Sound. Aren't they the ones that did? No, they're not the ones who did a little bit of soul. That was Music Machine. Rumors by the Syndicate of Sound. And the flip side is The Upper Hand. Okay. We have Eric Burdon and the Animals with CC Rider. That was on their greatest hits album. And the flip side is She'll Return It. Check that out. Produced by Tom Wilson, who also produced the Freak Out and Absolutely Free for the Mothers. Oh, wait a second. You got to be kidding me. This is a classic. The Count 5 with Psychotic Reaction. And it goes like this. Nice. But the flip side, which it looks like they marked as the A side, is They're Gonna Get You. So, double shot. Okay, so this is like a greatest hits type record. Maybe this is not an official record. I don't know. But very cool to get Psychotic Reaction out of 45. And this one, I've never seen this on a 45. This is a classic. This is on the Nuggets compilation. You're Gonna Miss Me by the 13th Floor Elevators, written by Rocky Erickson. Flip side is Try to Hide. Nice. Those last two were absolutely fantastic. Whew. Monkey's version of A Giant Step is lovely. Also Taj Mahal's. Oh, very cool. Nice. And let's see. Eric Burdon is the Eggman. Goo. And okay, you saw Ramsey Lewis with Dr. Billy Taylor. Nice. Okay. So now that my mouth is absolutely dry, I take another sip of Diet Coke. We have reached the 1 hour point. And I just want to say, I've had a fantastic time doing this. This is fantastic. I love it. I love it. Saturday nights, we love getting together. I don't know if I'll be here next Saturday night or not, but I intend on being here. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button while you are at it. I had a great time. Hope you did too. Stay tuned for your local news. Running a little late, but except for you folks on the West Coast. And you know what? That's it. I'm gonna make some synthesizer noises quickly here. And thank you. I cannot thank you enough for the time that you are here. You can also look up Bill's Box of Sound on Facebook. I post things on there every once in a while. Also look for my name, Bill Camarada, on Instagram, and you can follow me there. Most recent thing I posted was a picture of my Techniques turntable, a nice close up of it. So Thank you for stopping by, and you are welcome anytime. Glad to have you over. Thank you for visiting. Let's play some funny noises. Oh, that's it. That's enough. Yes. Stay sick, turn blue, scratch glass, climb walls. And most importantly of all, do it while you can, but don't get caught.